Time to show.
Let's get this. Good morning, Illini, and thanks for stopping by. I'm Jared Farmer.
And I'm Blake Landa. Thanks for joining us.
We have a real treat this morning, a fresh face, of course. Blake, welcome to your first show on GMI anchoring. How does it feel to be in the seat?
It feels pretty excited. It feels pretty good, and I'm very excited since today is Unofficial, and that's a fun show to be first time in the anchor chair.
Absolutely. And of course, so let's start off by taking a look at what we have in store for the show this week.
Our fabulous crew decided to take to the streets to answer all the burning questions of our generation.
And our very own Nathan DeHaan will be sitting down with a local EMT to give us all of the details of working during Unofficial.
We'll also join Connor Seco as he asks the important questions to our furriest fans of Illini baseball.
Good morning, Illini.
Well, Jared, how has your week been? I heard you had a special occasion to celebrate.
Yes, I did. This week on Tuesday, it was my 22nd birthday. So, me and my friends, we went out. I went and I tried some new foods, went and enjoyed myself. I got my ears pierced. So,
yeah,
it was a great week.
You're looking pretty good so far.
It was a great week. Thank you.
But the only downside is after 22, it's all downhill from here.
It's all downhill. Hey, it was a good 22nd. It was a good 22nd.
Let's dive into what other exciting events happened on campus this week. This past Thursday, TEDx UIUC hosted their second event of the year. The theme of the talk series was Elevate.
Members of the campus community shared their stories on ideas and issues they are passionate about, detailing the experiences that elevated them. Guests of the talk series enjoyed free snacks in addition to the complimentary admission.
TEDx UIUC provides a TED Talk experience aiming to give outstanding community members a platform to share their ideas through performance, presentation, and discussion. Have you ever watched a few TED Talks? I know I have.
I do occasionally. I've never actually seen a TEDx for here at UIUC, but always, every single TED Talk that I watch, it just always is filled with good 20 to 25 minute content. So great stuff to watch. But today, as you said, is Unofficial St. Patrick's Day. For those unaware, it's an unsanctioned drinking holiday. The real St. Patrick's Day happens over spring break, so students celebrate this one early.
Now, the event started decades ago by campus bars to combat the loss of normal St. Patty's Day sales. Over the years, the holiday has become as much about buying t-shirts than the actual drinking itself. Students line up at local t-shirt vendors to buy last-minute shirts to celebrate the holiday.
And this past week, the 7th annual Hack Illinois was held here on campus. The 36-hour event touted itself as the first ever open source collegiate hackathon and included workshops with some of the biggest tech and engineering companies in the nation, such as Facebook, Caterpillar, and Google, as well as a number of prizes for the top performing group projects.
Hack Illinois was mainly located at the Siebel Center and the Electrical and Chemical Engineering building here on campus and included fun side events like Capture the Flag and a midnight dinner to allow students to take a break from the main event.
Groups were free to work on any project they were interested in, but were encouraged to work with the many mentors and companies that were in attendance. The official date of next year's event has not yet been released, however.
All right, we're now going to throw it out over to our very own Jose Zepeda for our
UI7
News Desk.
UI7 News Desk. Rookie mistake. Take it away, Jose.
You'll get there, Blake. But anyway, I'm here with this week's edition of News Desk, so let's get started. 2 armed robberies occurred last Sunday between the 300 and 400 blocks of South 5th Street. According to a campus safety notice released by the University Police Department, a student was approached by 2 men around 10:45 p.m. The 2 men displayed handguns and demanded that the student give them his belongings. After the student handed them over, the men fled. Several minutes later, a different student was approached by a man displaying a handgun, though that man immediately fled without taking anything. Neither student was harmed. And on Monday, the university announced via email that it was suspending all activity in Italy, Iran, China, and the Daegu region of South Korea due to the global coronavirus situation. The suspensions come just as the university follows recommended orders from the U.S. Center for Disease Control, as well as the U.S. Department of State Travel Advisory. The suspensions mean that any students, staff, and faculty abroad in the aforementioned countries have to return home. Some students have already made their trips back to the U.S., but don't know what is the next step they have to take, creating a nuisance.
I don't know what I'm going to do with my life these next next half of this semester. Kind of feel like a college dropout, not knowing exactly what I'm doing. But I mean, I'm hoping it'll all work out.
The announcement also adds that any university students, staff, and faculty going out of the country during spring break will have to quarantine themselves for 14 days when they come back, should they visit a country with a CDC Level 2 or 3 travel advisory. The areas affected include Japan, the entirety of South Korea, and any cruise ships traveling throughout Asia. As of yet, there are still no signs of the coronavirus reaching Champaign County. Well, that is all I have for this edition of News Desk. Stay tuned to Good Morning Illini as well as UI7 for more updates on the coronavirus situation. And I know that was a lot of news to take in, so let's bring up those spirits with some shenanigans from the 199 Peanut Gallery. Guys?
Hey, thanks, Jose. You've seen them before in the popular segment Meet the Crew, but this week the men and women behind the camera decided to take to the streets and answer one of the most important questions: which U.S. president is the most attractive?
Hint, it's not Abe.
Good morning, Illini. I'm Eliseo Gonzalez.
My name is Spencer Nelson.
My name is Carly Edwards. I'm here at the Illini Union.
Asking a few silly questions.
Let's go check it out.
You want to hear? Yeah, we're good. Now we got someone who wants to do it. All right. Okay, well, I'm first going to ask you about your drink. What are you drinking right there?
Some white zero sugar monster because, you know, I'm a monster. I gotta release the beast.
Name a woman.
Evine?
Evine who?
Evine Tari?
I don't know her, but she sounds cute.
What U.S. president was the hottest?
I don't know, Obama?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Kennedy?
Oh, current Donald J. Trump for sure. That orange hair, the orange face, the white flow, beautiful.
Guess Obama.
Clinton. Bill Clinton.
Obama.
I'm gonna go with Ronald Reagan.
Would you like to answer a few questions? 3 at minimum.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Name the hottest U.S. president.
No.
It seemed like our 199 students were having a lot of fun out on campus. I'm actually a big Arthur Van Buren fan.
Arthur Van Buren.
With all of those really good sideburns. I think that looks pretty good.
Personally, I'm more of a JFK guy myself. I feel like, right. Oh, it was Martin Van Buren. Blake.
I'm not even that good at naming presidents, man.
Hey, well, regardless, that is a very hot take indeed. Moving on, our own Kenya Williams decided to talk to a local artist who recently transferred to the university. Let's see what she found.
Thanks. When it comes to art, art is all around us. Check out how a student named Madeline Stevens applied and transformed in the art department at U of I.
I went to Parkland for a semester after transferring from a different school, so I had all these different credits that I had to make sure they all got processed. And then I had to make sure my residency was in order, and that kind of was a long process. It was kind of just the stress of waiting and kind of working with the financial aid office, and making sure I had all the papers submitted. That was kind of crazy and stressful, but then, like, once you hear back from the U of I and, like, find out that you're admitted, it's like this, like, breath of relief. And then you realize you have more work to do because there's even more paperwork to submit. So it's always, like, about just paperwork, but it's very satisfying to know that, like, oh, I got into college, and I got into an art department, and it's a really good school, and it's a cool place to be. I love to do just traditional drawing. I love to use use the big tablets in the computer lab to draw on Photoshop. I also am really getting into collaging. It's really fun and not something that I've done since like elementary school, but it's actually really fun and it can be like complex or as simple as you want it to be. And I would say that Champaign and Urbana have a really cool and really open art community, and it's really easy to get involved in stuff on campus, in the art department. There's always a show going on, always a guest speaker. There's always stuff locally that you can see. Coffee shops always have some type of art being displayed. There's like the Boneyard Arts Festival every, I think, April. And it's really cool to be involved in that. And then there's so many other art things that you can get involved in. So I think if you're trying to get involved in an art community, Champaign, Urbana is a really good place to start because it's very wide and it's open and you can find your own little place, or you can make your own place.
It is always an interesting story behind somebody's art. It is about you deciding which story to tell. Back to you, Blake and Jarrett.
Hey, thanks, Kenya. I was watching that piece, and she was doing a lot of really cool stuff.
Really cool things. I would say her art was off the wall, just like that chair that was in her interview.
In line with how the rest of winter has been going this week, we saw some crazy highs and sudden snow. Let's send it over to GMI's Max Claypool to see if today's weather will be a little bit better. Max?
Thank you, guys. Max Claypool here with your current weather. Right now, as you can see, it's overcast and cloudy and very windy right now, so we got that blowing trash can advisory out. 30 degrees right now under overcast skies, but as we go through the day, the clouds are going to clear, but it's going to remain cool and windy, with highs getting below freezing tonight. So if you're going to be celebrating, make sure you bring a coat. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Max, and we'll be right back here after a short break, but be sure to stick around for some great stuff coming up, including ISN's Patrick Catazone, also GMI's anchor, here to give us a brief sneak peek about what's in store for this week's episode of Illini Sports Night.
We'll see you in a little bit.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know,
I heard.
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
Families come in all sizes and shapes. Sometimes your friends are your family by choice, or sometimes you're just stuck with Uncle Charles. But what we know is that you want to protect the people that are close to you, but the flu can unravel everything. Your flu vaccine protects you and your family. No matter what draws your family together, protect yourself, protect your family. Everyone needs a flu vaccine.
Good morning, Illini.
Hey, good morning, Illini, and selamat pagi.
Good morning, Illini.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, as we've said earlier, every year unofficial St. Patrick's Day comes to campus, and with it comes one of the highest risk celebrations of the year. So our very own Nathan DeHaan sits down with an emergency medical technician to talk about what you can do to stay safe and how his job changes with the holiday.
Hello and welcome to Illini Morning Chat. I'm Nathan DeHaan, joined here by Dominic Palezzi. He is a student EMT, and with it being unofficial today, we figured we'd take a chance to sit down and talk to him sort of what an EMT does and how his relationship is different from unofficial than maybe, the traditional students is. So, Dominic, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here today.
For the people that aren't familiar with it, what exactly is an EMT?
So an EMT is an emergency medical technician, and there's different levels of qualifying. So when you go to class, the EMT basic is usually what you see. It's about a 1 month program to get your certification. And then actually, usually EMTs work alongside a paramedic, which is about a 1.5-year program. So more certifications.
Okay. So being an EMT, what does being an EMT mean to you? Why choose being an EMT?
Yeah, so to me, being an EMT is awesome because I have a very strong passion for the medical field, but I also like chaos. So the chaos portion of it, I love knowing, like, whenever somebody's having a bad day and they call for an ambulance to come help you out, like, I love being there so I can help, bring some joy or maybe some medical knowledge and help fix the situation medically.
How did you figure out, growing up or just earlier in life that you liked that sort of high stress situation?
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I love video games and anything super high stress environments and the kind of more the chaotic situations, like I said earlier. So I kind of realized that medical stuff was more interested towards me because in high school I took a lot of like anatomy classes and other biology classes that I really felt interested in too. And then I kind of realized one day, like, I saw some firefighters on a street corner actually, like doing the fill the boot type of a campaign. We were asking for fundraisers.
Okay.
And I kind of sat there and realized, like, wow, what does it take to be one of them? Or like, what is it like? And so I actually went to a fire department and talked to them and said, hey, what could I do to make, be with one of you guys one day? And so they gave me advice, and I actually went and took my EMT class, and then now here I am.
How long ago was that?
That was, I want to say, a little over 3 years ago, almost 4 years.
So this is all, and when were you certified?
So when I was 18. So
Okay.
like right after high school, I pretty much went straight to an EMT course.
Okay, very cool. You've been doing this for a while. It's not your
Yes.
first rodeo
Yes,
this
I'm
weekend.
22
is it?
now. No.
Sure, exactly. How does your job change for unofficial weekend?
Well, so being on a college campus originally, you're going to have we call them baby drunks all the time because the people who never really drink before are just out trying to test their limits out and they keep drinking. So with being unofficial, the amount of that increases. So you're going to have a lot more people who are drunk and doing stupid activities, and the police get called for a lot of things. And then if they deem a situation unsafe or they feel like the patient should go to the hospital, then that's when they call us. And that just exhausts all of our resources too because of how many people are currently drinking.
Sure. So safety being a key concern with unofficial.
Exactly.
Do you have any sort of tips for people, that are partaking in unofficial or that, any situation like this they might find themselves in?
So obviously drinking in moderation. Like people don't always know what their limits are. Having a little bit of food beforehand will really help kind of not be as drunk right away. And it's kind of being with good friends who will take care of you and kind of letting you know, like, hey, maybe you should slow down a little bit. Maybe you're drinking straight vodka right now. You don't have to do that, So something along those lines.
Do you have any, in past unofficials, do you have any, funny stories or any good content that came out of any of those?
Good content usually getting thrown up on, to be honest. Like,
not great.
Not really, no.
Yeah, I can't imagine that
Yeah.
there's a lot of positive memories when you're on the other side of what a lot of people are having a lot of fun.
Exactly.
And what do you think of, first thing, word association that comes to your mind when you think about unofficial weekend?
Green beer.
Sure.
And green vomit.
Yeah, I can imagine. A lot of green. Are you nervous at all for unofficial weekend?
Not really. Sometimes I'm kind of excited because it makes me realize that, I'll be going to work. So sometimes the work can be kind of slow at times, and that I prefer when my work is busy and I get to do things, especially my job. So I know for a fact I'll be treating patients in some way.
All right.
Unofficial today.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure you guys stay safe this unofficial weekend, and have a great day.
Thanks, Nathan. So unofficial is this weekend, but for some people, it's just not really their thing. And if you are one of those people, don't worry, we've got you covered.
Let's check in with GMI's Andrea Cannon as she tells us what's happening on campus during this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Just because unofficial is happening doesn't mean there isn't anything else to do this weekend.
This Saturday, the Gungro Dance Company is hosting an event entitled GDC Studios Presents Avengers Rewritten. The event will feature the company's members dancing as some of the famous members of the Avengers, including Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. Doors open at 5:30 at Lincoln Hall, and tickets will be $7. But if dance isn't your thing, then check out the Asian American Association as they host their 34th annual fashion show on Saturday at 3 p.m. at the Follinger Auditorium. Tickets to attend are currently $8, but will rise up to $10 at the door. And after the fashion show is over, you can head on over to T-Moji at 7:30 for the Creative Writing Club's Speak Up open mic event. You can share some poetry, sing, rap, or even dance. But if you want to perform, send an email over to creativewritingclub@uiuc@gmail.com. And if none of those events suit you, maybe you could just check out a movie like Liam did this week. Back to you guys.
That's right. This week, our producers Liam and Maddie watched tonight's free film at the Union Bombshell earlier this week, and they gave us their thoughts on the movie. Let's check out what they had to say.
Episode of Liam Goes to the Movies. As always, I am your perfect in every way host, and joining me this week is executive producer Maddie Rice. This isn't tag along, Maddie. We talked about this.
Their full review and extended versions of their adventures in film, be sure to visit our YouTube page.
Now, Illini Sports is always happening, and Illini Sports Night always has you covered. More to tell us this, Patrick, GMI, ISN, you're taking over all of our shows. Come on, save it for the rest of us. But what we got for this quick hit?
Thanks, Jared. Yeah, a big weekend for Illini Sports and this episode of Illini Sports Night. Illinois had a devastating loss last night to Ohio State. What does that mean for Illinois' chances in the Big Ten tournament? You'll have to tune in to find out. Illini women's basketball had an early exit in the Big Ten tournament, but some key shooters gave hope to next year's team. And Illinois baseball is heating up after a successful stand in Frisco, Texas. All that and much more on this week's episode of ISN. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and tune in to ISN tonight at 5 on YouTube for all your Fighting Illini needs. There's nothing better than Illini Sports Night. Thanks so much. Back to Jared and Blake.
Hey, thanks, Patrick. Illini baseball is in full swing. Our very own Connor Seco decided to check out the game and ran into some very adorable attendees in this week's Where's Connor? Let's go check it out.
With the weather warming up, that means it's time to get back into baseball. But that also means that we can spend some more time outside with our furry friends. Now, let's go interview some dogs and see what they think about Illini baseball's Bark in the Park. And what's your favorite part about being outside? Oh, you're still... Hi, bud. Hi. Fella, I gotta know. How often do people tell you that you're an absolutely beautiful pup? You need to know. Kobe, hi. Hello. Hi. Oh, Kobe, I have a very important question for you. Do you like tennis balls or baseballs more? I think he's a baseball kind of guy. You ever chase the mailman, Jethro? he's going. He's walking away. As cute as the dogs are, that's not the only reason we're here. Be sure to come out and support your Illini baseball team, right here at Illinois Field. I'm Connor Seco, and have a good morning, Illini.
Dogs, man.
I actually have two dogs at home, and I left the TV on and put GMI on, so hopefully they see me on TV and are freaking out a little bit.
And are just going off, going crazy. I'm pretty sure we saw Illini Sports Night and GMI as well. Wow, look at so many people just all over the place. But Mariah Guzman's dog, she was pretty sure that she was in that video as well. Always fun to see our other people, just out here.
Oh, yeah, no, I always love it. And anytime I get to see dogs, I'm having a good time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, well, it's been quite the show so far with the TEDx talks and the sports. But before we go, let's send it one more time to Max for our weekend weather update. How's the unofficial weather looking for us, Max?
Thank you, guys. Looking at our weekend forecast, tomorrow is going to be a high of 49, low of 35 under partly cloudy skies. And then Sunday looking like the weather pick of the week, high of 59. We may even see 60 under sunny skies and light winds. So if you're going to be outdoors this weekend, Sunday's probably going to be your day. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Max, for giving us a live look at our weather. All right. Guys, a lot of stuff happening this weekend.
Yes, a lot of things.
What are some of the big sports things that are happening this weekend?
Yeah, well, Illinois basketball, has their final home game of the season. Iowa at senior night, so that's going to be a big one.
It's going to be a really exciting game.
Yeah, a couple of important seniors are going to be. This is going to be their final game at home, so that'll be fun. Andres Feliz, specifically one of them. Kipper Nichols, another one. Other than that, women's basketball is pretty much wrapped up. Illini baseball has a couple games this week, so. That'll be fun too. But
I know I'm actually going to be going to the women's tennis match. They're taking on Purdue on Sunday morning, so that should be a nice day. And it looks like it's going to be like in the 60s on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I think that could be pretty good for some weather.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Jared, what are your plans for Unofficial today?
Unofficial? I'm going home, Blake. Come on. I'm going home. I'm going to sleep. I've been enjoying this. It's my birthday week, so I've been enjoying it for the most part. But this Friday, it's just time to relax. We've had the show. It's been a long week. I just can't wait to go ahead and get a nap in.
Yeah.
Then, we might go out a little bit, socialize a little bit, see some people. Yeah. But, it's just a normal weekend.
Yeah,
normal
you've already had the big part of your week done.
I've had my fun.
Patrick, what about you? Any big plans?
Yeah, no, I wish I was going home as well, but I just couldn't swing it with spring break coming up in 2 weeks.
Right,
but,
right.
I know for you, first of all, I never got to say happy birthday. So
Thank you.
Hope it's nice. I hope you get to have a good time at home too. But yeah, I'll be doing homework. You can catch me at the UGL library. Anyways, how about you, Blake? First show on anchoring GMI. How did that feel? We got two vets.
I'm feeling pretty good. As the rookie, what do you guys think? Did I do an okay job? Am I going to get a chance to do it again?
Yeah. Do you remember Van Buren's first name?
Yeah,
that's
Martin now. Yeah.
Martin. There we go.
So the problem was I was thinking of Chester A. Arthur and Martin Van Buren. So then I combined them into one.
Yeah. Arthur Van Buren. I mean, it sounds good.
It sounds right. That sounds like an old-timey president name.
I thought it was right when you said it. So I was like. Yeah, Arthur Van Buren, that sounds about right.
Yeah. More importantly, though, are you sticking with those two as your most handsome president? Because I think I agree with Jared. I think it's JFK.
Honestly,
I think JFK has those conventional good looks, but that's because we got to see him on TV.
And more importantly, like the 1960 debate, like that was the first big televised debate. So that was the first time that people saw Richard Nixon and Kennedy talking. So literally, he was not only the first president on television, but the first president to look good on television.
I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's our show for the week. Thank you so much for sticking around with us.
Absolutely, and don't forget to check us out on Facebook and on Twitter at GMI Illini, and send us your story ideas at goodmorningillini@gmail.com.
Make sure you have a great and safe weekend out there, because we know it's going to be a little bit hectic.
Yes, be safe, be responsible, don't do anything you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, act like your mom is watching you a little bit,
Exactly.
I would like to say.
There you go. That's the perfect way to put it.
And as always,
good morning, Illini.